I will never forget the scene where I was screaming at him, and then fast forward to the scene of us in the boat shed and we're just like talking and connecting and understanding each other. Like, of me being that emotionally safe person that he truly needed. My oldest son, he has got sensory stuff, and I had no idea what to do with him from the day he was born. Um, and so I handled all of his emotions and his sensory needs horribly. And he just kind of was an emotional ball and mess. So whenever he had an outburst, I also reacted. And there was a time, actually multiple times, that I would throw him on the couch and scream in his face. And I can vividly see his eyes looking back at me in like a bunny eye. Like he was just such a little vulnerable guy looking for an emotionally safe person
Wow.
to rely on. And I was not that emotionally safe person because I had done that multiple times, but I just remember him looking back at me and um just so scared. He was so scared in his eyes. My husband and I mean, we had just been roommates for a long time, and we would go many like weeks without talking to each other about anything other than logisticals. The main conversation we would have about our kids is just that they suck, honestly. Just
Wow.
like, why do we have to have these little crazy things in our home that's just like ruining our lives? That was the main
Wow.
conversation. We didn't really talk about how to parent them or anything. That was really worthwhile. It was just like, how do we survive and get them to bed on time so we can breathe before the next day? And made it look like we were just these great Christians who dress nice at church on Sunday, and we show up and we try and act like our kids are good. And when we go
Wow.
home, like it's
Yeah.
just husband's not nice to me and kids are crazy. So that was what we were to our friends.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, is everybody else like lying too? So I pulled him aside and brought him into a boathouse. We were on a lake and on the beach, and brought him into the boathouse. I said, "Hey, something's going on. Like you don't seem connected to who I know you are." And we went down this rabbit trail of a beautiful conversation. I remember I was talking with Jesus the whole time, and I could picture Jesus just over the shed, and he's just ministering the conversation. And I was able to break down a couple lies that my son had believed. One was that he feels stupid. Nobody wants to play with him. And I could just sit and hold him during those while he was feeling that sadness, and speak truth into those lies, because God gives us the truth, and walk away from that situation. And he didn't have anything else that day. Like he just needed to process those feelings. So that is one moment where I'm completely grateful to have, like, I will never forget the scene where I was screaming at him, and then fast forward to the scene of us in the boat shed and we're just like talking and connecting and understanding each other. Like, of me being that emotionally safe person that he truly needed before. So it feels like full circle what he was asking when he had those little bunny eyes looking at me. Yeah, just about daily, especially with the oldest one, which is so cool to see. He's just so articulate with his feelings, and he can just name it and say it. I just love having conversations with him about all of it now. Yeah, now full circle, he is completely on board and understands exactly what we need to do, and we can talk about a situation that is frustrating and come in agreement of like, what do you think Jesus would say, and what would be the best for them to learn from the situation. To the person who's thinking like, I can't do this, well, you can't. You need Jesus.
Yes. That was
He's
awesome.
gonna he will bring you through, because it's hard, um but there's joy and peace, and he orchestrates the whole thing. Oh, the whole thing. Like, this is just so cool how like one step of faith continues to just fall, and he continues to show that he's faithful in healing generations, like healing my mom, and to see where that's going to go too. Like, how many people is he going to heal with just this whole situation?
Yes.
It's so cool. And then like to trickle down from there, I've got a brother and a sister, and they're watching all of this happen too. And my brother's starting to come to the Lord, and it's just a whole family affair everywhere you go, all families around. I am so grateful. Yeah.
One person in your family volunteered to go first
Hmm.
and take Jesus up on the redemption that he actually had when it comes to family. You didn't need your husband on board. You didn't need your parent on board, and you didn't need your kids on board. You didn't need your siblings on board, and now they're all getting rocked.
Yeah.
Ah!